So this house is part of the Muse. It's a public area. The whole downstairs is now the public area. And this belonged to my great-grandfather, Mr. Ong Hok Tai, who was up there in the middle, flanked by two wives who lived here. The first wife was Ko Siang Niao, who was the daughter of the Kapitan China, Ko Buan. And on the other side is the second wife, who lived here as well in the same household. And her name was Go Ah Pang. And at the bottom there is my grandmother, whose name was Ong Kui Ki, and she was the eldest daughter of Ong Hok Tai. So I'm from the line. So the house has now come into our line of the family since last year. I'm pleased to say it's finally back in the hands of an Ong. So thank you very much for making it come back into the correct line. And what I'm amazed about is that I inherited some of the things from this house years ago, and I never ever thought that they would actually one day come back and be hung in the house where they came from. So for example, the two pairs of embroideries on either side of the hall were given to me by my great aunt, and they were hung on the side doors here because during Chinese New Year and during the weddings and festive occasions. And when I bought my own house in Muntri Street across the road, she decided that I was the right and the correct guardian for these precious embroideries and a few other things. And so I felt that they should come back here, and they look amazing here. The tiles are chosen by Mr. Ong Hok Tai himself, my great-grandfather. He had picked all the hardware for the house personally, and they still work up to today. I'm trying to put back the house to reflect the spirit of the place, so that there was a respect and a sense of place as to what the house was. I mean, we are changing the use, but it is basically used as a 4-bedroom house right now. And the great thing is that you can rent this house for your family, out for family weekend or whatever, to experience what it's like to live in one of these houses. So the central courtyard is still open. This is one of the most wonderful features of these sort of terrace houses. And all the wooden shutters and the window panes up there, very Edwardian, basically intact. We had to do very little to repair them. They were very well made to start off with. I basically furnished the place to reflect the grand period of Peranakan culture, which is basically the 1920s or Edwardian period. So you have everything was just in such huge sizes. Look at this oversized sideboard. And I found wonderful period pieces from the family. And look at this wonderful roll-top desk. It's just so perfect for the space. And also the wonderful portrait of George V, who was the king of Penang, basically. He was the king of Penang at that time. And look at the grandeur of the staircase for a terrace house. I always say it's a bit like Downton Abbey meets Muntri Street. So I made this into a very cozy sitting area for the guests, with a long table. And the long table, I remembered from my childhood, was always there. This is where the family would sit, talk, discuss important and unimportant matters, and it was basically the heart of the house was here. Beyond that was the casual dining room, the courtyard, and the kitchen. So you can see that there was this crossover where, from the Victorian to the Edwardian era, they used lighter wood, marquetry, and just everything looked more slender, more elegant. So have a look up the stairs there. There's not a creak on those stairs when you walk up the stairs. They are made from teak, I'm told, and that's why they've stood the test of time. Room 9 upstairs, which is my pride and joy, is actually what the master of the household would have lived in, because it's the front and the most spacious room, goes across the full width of the house. Now, what's special about the room is that I have furnished it and designed to be a contemporary Edwardian design and look, and it was basically, the theme was basically centered around 3 teak wood pelmets for the windows that I found. It's my favorite corner in the house, and I'm sure you'll find it very welcoming and comfortable as well. So please do come and visit. I am sure that you'll like it. It's so close to everything, and yet you're in the middle of town. I feel that the Muse holds a very special place in my heart because of all the memories that it has, especially because my mother was born here, my grandmother, whom basically taught me all about Peranakan culture, is from this household. And there are so many stories that within these walls, that if only they could speak. But I think that you should come and experience it for yourself, to see for yourself what it's like. Thank you.